Here we are again. I am Audra Baker of audrabaker.com, and this is video 4, day 4 of your training series, understanding how you increase your metabolism, lose weight, shapeshift your body. And it's not about like food, dieting. It's definitely not about dieting or torturous exercise. And so today's lesson is pretty simple, and I think a really easy way for you to start implementing healthier lifestyle, healthier choices. So this is a question I get asked very often, and it is, what is the one piece of advice you can give me to fill in the blank? So what's the one thing that you can tell me, Audra, that I could do to lose weight or to improve my diet or to increase my energy or to make myself feel like I'm, eating better nutritionally, whatever it is. Oftentimes, when people ask me this question, they think I'm going to tell them some huge dramatic strategy and things they have to give up forever. But I'd like to encourage you to completely change that thought process and kind of go with the one thing that I always offer to people. And here it is. Take what you're eating already, what you already do in your life, and make it better. How do you increase the quality of your food? I think this is a very simple and very easy and profound way of not necessarily taking anything away. When you make drastic changes to your diet, it can be emotionally it can create all sorts of turmoil. When you take that very masculine, linear approach to, diet, well, I'm just going to change everything right now and just I don't think, again, we're not taking into account our culture. We're not taking into account the people in our lives, the emotional attachment that we all have to food, whether you want to believe it or not. And so I think a better idea is to take what you're already doing and just make it better. How do you clean it up so that way what you end up doing is putting real food in your body instead of like crap food? You're able to clean up toxins and change things up a little bit. So let's start with this conversation right now. This is a great example of low quality food, really low quality. This type of food, it's, filled with artificial colors, flavors, ingredients, things that your body doesn't even recognize as food. MSG has clearly been linked to weight gain. Many low-calorie sodas, highly flavored snacks, processed foods of all kinds, they contain substances known as excitotoxins. These basically overstimulate your neuron receptors, and because of all the overstimulation, you actually kill them. These receptors die. And particularly scientists have noted that it's in the hypothalamus and the temporal lobes that this happens, which happens to be the part of the brain that controls behavior, emotion, onset of puberty, sleep cycles, immunity, all sorts of, things that it controls in your body. And these, artificial things that aren't even food that we put in, I shouldn't say we, that the food industry puts in, low quality food, they do it so that way you will keep coming back and eating those low quality foods. This concept, these excitotoxins like MSG and plenty other ones, things that they don't have to label on the back of their food, their boxes. They also increase your taste sensation. It makes it intense when you eat this type of food, right? Where you just want more. And in my opinion, processed food, it's like the last frontier of legal drugs. It literally will make you just want more. And it doesn't matter if, we're talking about fast food. This is not just McDonald's or any type of fast food, but also, foods that are diet foods. This is a great example. So the best advice I give all people is to simply increase the quality of your food. Increase the quality of your food. So a great example here, you can see, there's like an ice cream thing right in the middle of this. Instead of going for stuff that maybe you think is a diet ice cream, or let's go for the low-cal, skinny cow crap, screw that. Go to your local health food store. There's probably a Whole Foods someplace close by. As I'm making this video, I'm actually sitting in my home in San Francisco where I'm just so blessed by the amount of health food stores. The stores here can almost put Whole Foods to shame. They're so incredible, local, organic. But back to the point here, I end up going there and getting this organic ice cream from cows that have lived a really happy life. And, the ice cream's made with all quality ingredients. There's maybe 4 ingredients in all of the ice cream, and it is delectable. It is amazing. The likelihood of me overdoing that food, it's probably not going to happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'll tell you the likelihood of you overdoing foods like this that's just filled with preservatives and crap, low quality food, the likelihood of you overdoing this is very high. The likelihood of you overdoing higher quality foods, it's a lot less. It's a lot less. So this is the best advice I give to people. Increase the quality of your food, okay? Now, not to get too political, but to touch on this. I want you to understand, this is, a whole thing of processed food. Everything here is just made with all sorts of junk. But when we're talking about animal products and animal food, this cow that you're looking at in this picture has lived a pretty happy life. It's eating grass, which is what it's supposed to be eating. So when you're going to eat an animal that's lived this kind of life, you need to understand that the nutritional value of what you're putting in your body is totally different than, let's say, a factory farmed animal. Okay? When an animal is living in horrific conditions and being stuffed with steroids, to make it big, fat, and plumpy, and antibiotics, because obviously in a situation like this picture, it's going to get sick, right? So it's a total and complete different animal. So I am definitely not advocating in one direction or the other. Eat, go vegan, go vegetarian, go paleo. I'm not advocating in one direction or the other because things are going to work differently for different people. But what I am going to say is that it's a really big deal, especially in the United States of America, where they hide what they do to our animals and they hide what kind of stuff they put in processed food. You don't even realize the stuff that you're putting in your body, and it's not even food. Red color 27 is not a food. These artificial flavors and colors, your body doesn't recognize it at a molecular, level, at a cellular level. Your body's like, what the hell is this? It's not real food. And when you're eating cows or animals that have basically had a horrible life and they're stuffed with antibiotics and testosterone and growth hormones, all of these things, there's no way in hell that the quality that you're getting is the same as if you're eating organic. So anytime you can, go for organic, go for local, go for grass-fed, go for free range. It's the best advice I can give you to increase the quality of the foods that you're eating, okay? Your hamburger is going to look the same. It's going to look the same, but instead of being made from this, it's going to look like it's going to be made from that. And what it's doing internally in your body is it's shifting your nutritional profile. It's changing the health of your body as well. Okay, so I'll give you another great example. This is like a typical meal. You could call it Italian, but this is very American, spaghetti and meatballs. This is what we eat. So how can you make sure those meatballs are made with grass-fed meat to start with? And then how can you improve the overall quality of what this meal would look like? So here's one way. Instead of making it with processed, white flour pasta, Ezekiel 4:9 is a great brand. It's made with sprouted grains. If you're going to do grains, if you're going to do gluten, sprouted is going to give you the most benefit. It's going to be the most digestible. And look at all the vegetables that are in here. What a different concept. Instead of just having, meat and pasta, why not throw some vegetables in there too? Great idea. Here's another one. What about some grass-fed beef? And this doesn't even have pasta. It's made with like zucchini noodles in a sense, with little shaved Parmesan on top. Very, very different animal. Like, look at the quality of this, look at the quality of this, just compared to that, right? And this is a very typical standard American type food that we would be eating at home. How can you increase the quality? How can you make it look like this? How can you make it look like that? So one other example is, again, it's not about taking things away from you, but what if we took all of this type of junk food that maybe we have, and what if we change it? I'm a big fan of chocolate. So what if we changed it to something that was organic, something that where maybe the cacao beans came from companies that cared about their farmers. So the more we can increase our awareness around the type and quality of food that we can eat, we're increasing our own health, which is very important. But then we're also increasing the health of the animals that we eat. And then we're increasing the fact that maybe factory farms will go away eventually because we get to choose where our dollar goes. So increasing the quality of your food increases your health, it increases your awareness, and it changes the shape and landscape of the food industry so that we overall will have better choices for everybody. So that's what I want to say about that. Increase your quality. Action, action, action. What can you do today to increase your quality? At your very next meal, how can you increase the quality of what you're putting in your body? And I want you to share that on audrabaker.com. Go down below if you're watching this on my blog. Go down below and tell me what is the action you are taking today and forward to increase the quality of your food. Okay, guys, I will see you tomorrow in lesson 5. Get ready. It's going to be a shebanger.